We're doing now Beit Hashem Yisborach Maseches Peah Daf Samach Gimel, and we did already a little bit, so we'll continue from the Mishnah. Kerem Revai Shammai Oimrim Ein Loi Choimish Ve'Ein Loi Bir. Kerem Revai means you plant a vineyard, so the first 3 years are early, not yet. The 4th year, the Torah says Kodesh Hiludim Hashem, and simple, it means you have to take the grapes and eat it in Yerushalmi. But the question is, what's more details about it? For example, if you want to redeem it. Or another question, there's a din by Maaser Sheni, that's also Kodesh, that you have to remove it totally from your property the certain year. That's the 4th and the 7th year, Pesach. The halacha is called biur Maaser Sheni. You have to burn it. You cannot use it anymore. So what's the din with this money or fruit of Kerem Revai? Does it have that kedusha that it needs to be removed from your property and destroyed after a certain period? It's called biur Maaser Sheni. Maybe there's din biur of Kerem Revai. So these two questions are arguing with Shammai Basil. No, these things do not apply to Kerem Revai. If you want to redeem it, you don't have to add a fifth. If it's worth $100, you redeem it for $100. You take the $100 to Yerushalmi. Also, ve'ein le'bir. If it came at the time when there's normally the din of biur Maaser Sheni, here we can say no. You can still take it up later, or if you redeem the money, you can use the money later in Yerushalmi. Another question. So this Kerem, the vineyard, the 4th year, do the poor men have a right to take the parrot and the leilis, or do we say it's kedusha and they have no right to touch anything that's kedusha? Shammai says no, it's kedusha, but it's also not 100% kedusha. So Shammai treats it not like 100% kodesh. In this respect, we say they have a right to take it. However, it is some kedusha, so they have to redeem it. So they must take out some money from their pocket, maybe for very cheap, and redeem it, and then they can take it. Then they can eat the grapes. Islamam kula legas. No, it's so kodesh. Just like Hillel says that it has a choimish and beer, it's a regular kedusha, and that's why you do not need to separate parrot and the layers from it, and it kule legas. It's interesting, the Mishnah here doesn't deal what it is if this vineyard is chayav with trumas and maasros. That should be the most natural question. It's interesting, the Mishnah doesn't even deal with this issue. It sounds that everybody agrees that it's not chayav. Because that's not even, it's definitely has a certain kedusha that you don't have to separate other things from. The only thing was that maybe there's matnasaniyim, maybe parent leilis, there's still possible that you have to give it for the poor. Tana, Rabbi Omer le'amri b'shamai el b'shvius. Very interesting shita. How Rabbi explains away this whole thing, this whole statement that Shammai says, Ein le'chomish ve'ein le'bir. It sounds he's saying a general statement. Rabbi says no, he's talking only specifically, exclusively in Shnas HaShviyas, in Shmita. What's the idea here? Because let's first finish the statement. Exactly like Beis Hillel. Shammai agreed to Beis Hillel, basically 99%, not 99, 6 out of 7 years they agree that there is a choimish and a beer. It's regular, like Maaser Sheni. Adaita the Dein Tanya leLondo neter Revai elam Maaser Sheni. Kamada time in Maaser Sheni v'Shviyas the chvasay in neter Revai v'Shviyas. So according to this shita, the idea goes that the idea goes like this: you learn out Kerem Revai Kodesh from Maaser Sheni. Now, Shviyas there's no Maaser Sheni at all. So, because there's no Maaser Sheni, There's also no Kerem Revai, but it's tricky. There's no Kerem Revai in the idea of a choimish and beer. It doesn't say that Shvius there's no kedusha whatsoever. No, it doesn't say that. It's this part that you learn out. So again, it's going to recap. According to Shammai, all the other 6 years, it's 100% like Maaser Sheni. Why not? Everything, in all respects. Shmita, it loses these two attributes, that there's no choimish and no beer, but there is kedusha. You just take away these two halachas of choimish and beer, because since there's no Maaser Sheni b'shviyas, so you cannot say you learn it out from Maaser Sheni, because Maaser Sheni itself doesn't apply in shviyas. So that's why Kerem Revai b'shviyas loses these two attributes, that what? They have no choimish and no beer. It's very interesting. But basically, according to this, Shammai is very close to Hillel, that really, in the other 6 years, we say it's 100% like Maaser Sheni and has choimish and beer. Let's just do one more piece. Tana Rashbagu. Echad shviyas v'echad shviyah. Shammai omer l'chodesh beer. No. They telling in London that Revai Maaser Sheni koliker. No such thing. Shammai does not hold at all that you learn anything out of Yerushalmi from Maaser Sheni. But there is kedusha, but nothing to do with Maaser Sheni. It's totally detached from Maaser Sheni. According to the first Shita, Shammai agrees it's like Maaser Sheni. But since Maaser Sheni is not noig b'shviyas, so b'shviyas you don't have these two things of choimish and beer. According to the second Shita, Shammai is totally disagreeing with the whole idea that Kerem Revai has any shaychus, any connection with Maaser Sheni. That's why even the other 6 years there's no choimish and beer. The Gemara says, kedusha. So where do we know that there's any kedusha whatsoever? You know, the whole thing, the whole idea that has a kedusha and you have to take it up to Yerushalayim and you can be poided. Everything is from Maaser Sheni. It says no, kodesh. It goes from kodesh. Going to Salal. Meticulously, kodesh adim, actually also Shmita says that Bikurim is part from beer. If you don't learn that from Maaser Sheni, maybe it can be part of Mechuber. So he stays by a question. So this is a very mechudesh dig shita. Actually, it's less mechudesh dig in this respect, that it's more straightforward. The Shammai says what he means. He means what he says. He says, Ein lechaim, ein lebeer, means never. So anyway, this is two shittas here, and this will be the end of Daf Samach Gimel. We'll stay here, Samach Gimel, Daf Samach Gimel.